This is the CitizenLink Report.
If you find our insights helpful, would you support our video efforts? Your gift of $25 or more goes a long ways. Covers the crew, lights, cameras, all that. Just click on Donate. Thanks from all of us.
Our republic form of government means that you and I play an important role when it comes to campaigns and elections. This is the CitizenLink Report. Hi, I'm Kim Trobee, and today I'm joined by Brad Miller. He's our Director of Family Policy Councils at CitizenLink. Brad, it's good to have you here today.
That's great to be here, Kim. Thanks.
Well, elections require an effort by voters just beyond going to the voting booth and casting a ballot. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, you think about the fact that in the last couple of presidential elections, there have been millions of evangelicals and conservative Catholics who have stayed home. They've not voted. And that made a very significant impact on those elections. When you think of the fact that when evangelicals and conservative Catholics go to the polls, they typically vote for the conservative candidate 72 to 78% of the time. Now, those statistics are from the last two presidential elections, so they're real statistics, 72 to 78% of the time. And so to stay home is just a non-starter for conservatives. If they want to win elections, conservatives need to identify and work with evangelicals and conservative Catholics.
With some of the grassroots projects that you're working on, you're over our family policy area at CitizenLink. Talk a little bit about some of those grassroots areas you're working on for 2014.
Well, just today I was on the phone with 30 of our hires. We've hired 30 grassroots field directors across the country, 7 states that we're targeting, critical states for the upcoming Senate races. And so it was a fantastic call. These folks are energetic, they're excited, they're gathering up volunteers, they're calling and they're canvassing, they're door knocking, they're trying to find those evangelical conservative Catholic voters out in the neighborhoods of their community.
So can you really tell the difference with when folks with biblical values stay home and when they don't?
Oh, it's incredible, Kim. I mean, we at CitizenLink, we targeted several house races, state house races in the state of New Mexico in 2012. We won 9 of 12, I believe, that we targeted. And there was one race in particular that this was just palpable because we had a conservative candidate who was pro-life, pro-marriage, who ran against a very liberal current member, sitting member of the State House there. This candidate won by 12 votes. We targeted 1,500 individuals within that district who were evangelical or pro-family conservative Catholics. And the result was 85% of those we targeted voted. Now, we believe they voted for the right candidate, and the right candidate won by 12 votes. Your vote matters.
It's really, really important. What would you say to someone who has taken part in a campaign, much like what you're getting ready to do, making phone calls, canvassing, doing all those sorts of things, and they're just really disillusioned with the whole process?
All right, it is a discouraging time for a lot of people, and we're finding a lot of discouragement as we engage. But I will tell you, you know, the analogy I use is that of an Olympic runner. You know, you have a 100-meter runner who trains for years for one race, and they end up winning or losing that race by milliseconds, and so it took time and energy and day after day after day training for that one race, and yet at the end of the race, what happens? They win or they lose by milliseconds. And that's a good analogy, I think, for elections because it's the work that's done, it's the heavy lifting that's done right now. It's the heavy lifting that's done throughout those months prior to the election. It's when things look like they're insurmountable that you have to put in the extra hours and you have to put in the extra work to make the difference. And so it's that 1 or 2, or in the case of the New Mexico race, 12 votes that actually wins an election. And so it is not a futile endeavor that our volunteers and the people listening engage in when they speak with their neighbors and speak with those they sit in church with every Sunday about these elections. They are important, they are critical. Elections matter, and I think that's the message that I want to send, is there is hope. And the hope is that you could be in a district where it looks insurmountable, but the conservative candidate ends up winning by 12 votes. And one of those 12 votes may be your vote. And so that's the thing that we need to remember and take away.
Really good information. Good reminder for us. Brad, thanks for being here and for all you do to make a difference in the elections.
Thank you, Kim. Really appreciate it.
And thanks to all of you who contact us with your comments and your questions. We love to hear from you. It's easy to share with us. Just go to mail@citizenlink.com. That's mail@citizenlink.com. And as always, we want you to pray for your elected officials. Pray for the upcoming midterm elections. This is a very important election for conservative values. Talk to your friends and family about going to the polls, and go there yourself in November of 2014. And as always, stand tall and be heard.